Hey there everyone! Welcome to my horror story channel. With this first story, I'd like to lead you into the world of fear, a place where silence speaks and darkness watches. Today, I've brought you a strange tale about an old house and a mirror that may show more than it should. But how does all this connect to our protagonist's fate? The story will reveal it. Get ready for some pleasant chills. Anna had always been drawn to old buildings. Since childhood, she felt a strange sense of peace whenever she stepped into a crumbling house where the floor creaked mournfully with every step, the walls were thick, and even the smallest sound echoed. The musty smell of old wallpaper, the cracks in wooden doors, the cold touch of metal doorknobs, none of it repelled her. It felt deeply familiar. She felt as if these places preserved something from time itself, something long banished from modern homes. Sterile white walls and cold, blinding LED lights never suited her. Anna sought the past. It was the only place she truly felt at home. When she saw the rental listing for a flat on the edge of town, she knew instantly she had to visit. The price was suspiciously low, and the photos showed a neglected house. Crumbling plaster, window frames blackened by time. But to Anna, that only made it more appealing. When she entered the house, the smell of mold and dust hit her, and with it, a mysterious thrill. The hallways were long and dark. Old chandeliers hung from the ceiling, dusty and webbed. Every sound in the house felt unusually loud. Her footsteps echoing, the slam of a neighbor's door, the drip of water behind the walls. The landlady who showed her the apartment was a hunched, thin woman with deep-set, faded eyes that seemed to watch every movement. She didn't speak much, only whispered in a hoarse voice. "People don't stay here long, but maybe it'll suit you." Anna didn't understand what she meant and didn't ask. The apartment was spacious, and though worn, it somehow felt cozy. There was only one oddity, a massive old mirror built into the bedroom wall. It didn't stand freely, nor was it hung. It seemed part of the wall itself. Its frame was black, cracked wood, fused into the plaster as if it could never be removed. Anna asked timidly, "Can I take this mirror down? Or at least cover it with something?" The landlady's face tensed, her eyes suddenly colder. "That mirror is part of the house. It can't be moved. Best not to disturb it." Anna shrugged. A mirror couldn't hurt, right? The first few days felt peaceful. Anna settled in, placed her books on the shelves, laid her old rug on the floor, and even lit candles in the evenings to enhance the nostalgic atmosphere. She quickly got used to the creaks of the house and the quiet sounds of the neighbors. But at night, a strange feeling crept over her. In the bedroom, near the mirror, it was always colder than anywhere else in the apartment. As if icy air seeped from behind the wall. Anna often found herself staring at the mirror before bed, feeling a strange tightness in her chest. The corners of the room always looked darker in the reflection, as if the light couldn't reach them. Sometimes, when she glanced at it from the corner of her eye, something seemed to move inside. A shadow, a flicker. But when she turned her head, the mirror stood empty, dull. One dawn, Anna heard a faint scratching. At first, she thought the neighbor was fiddling with something, but the sound grew clearer. It came from the bedroom wall, directly behind the mirror. She sat up in bed, her heart pounding. The scratching slowly stopped, and then something appeared on the cold glass. A handprint from the inside. Long, thin fingers slowly spread across the surface, as if trying to break through. Anna screamed and switched on the light. By the time the room flooded with brightness, the hand was gone. Only her heartbeat remained, and the cold sweat on her forehead. The next day, she tried speaking with the neighbors. The first, an elderly man, just waved dismissively. "That mirror's always been strange. No one stays long in that apartment." A young woman in the hallway added, "Don't look into it at night. The mirror doesn't show reality. It shows what wants to stay hidden." Anna laughed nervously, brushing off the warning, but inside, her anxiety grew. That night, she covered the mirror with a sheet, and only then could she fall asleep. But in the morning, the sheet lay on the floor. A foggy patch marked the center of the mirror, as if someone had breathed on it from the inside. In the middle of the mist, one word appeared: "Stay." The following days grew harder. Whispers echoed from the mirror at night. At first, barely audible, like wind, then clearer. Several voices spoke at once, murmuring strange, incomprehensible words, as if in a language she didn't recognize. Anna hid under her blanket, trying to block out the sounds, but they grew louder each night. Sometimes it even sounded like they were saying her name, drawn out, lingering. One night, the noise stopped, a silence so deep Anna could hear her own heartbeat. Something compelled her to turn toward the mirror. Her stomach clenched when she saw her own reflection standing there. Only, the Anna in the mirror wasn't still. With slow, deliberate movement, she raised her hand and began to smile. A strange, cold smile. One that held nothing human. Her eyes were darker, pupils unnaturally wide, her movements too smooth, as if she were made not of flesh, but of shadow. Anna wanted to step back, but her legs wouldn't obey. The surface of the mirror began to ripple like water. The figure in the mirror stepped forward and out into the room. Anna tried to scream, but no sound came from her throat. The other stepped up to her and with a single motion shoved her into the mirror. The next moment, silence. The room stood empty, and in the mirror, a young woman clawed desperately at the inside of the glass. From the outside, only a calm, smiling Anna could be seen, carefully adjusting the sheet in front of the mirror before switching off the light. Inside, Anna didn't know where she was. There was no space, no time. Only cold, dense darkness, where unfamiliar faces floated. Faces that belonged to no one. Just eyes, always watching. Whispers swirled around her, words she couldn't understand, but their meaning carved itself into her mind. You chose this. Time didn't pass. There was no hunger, no sleep, only constant presence, and the haunting sight of someone new appearing on the other side of the mirror. A young couple, a lonely man, an old woman, all stopped before the mirror and looked in. Some turned away, others stared too long, and when they did, the mirror rippled. Anna slowly stopped clawing, stopped screaming. She only waited. Waiting became the only reality. A year passed. A new tenant arrived at the house. The landlady gave the same curt warning as always. There's an old mirror in the bedroom, best not to disturb it. But the new tenant was drawn to the mirror, at first just watching, then leaning closer at night, eventually touching the glass. Inside, Anna watched. She no longer scratched at the surface, no longer begged. She simply stood in the dark and waited. When the mirror opened again, it was she who stepped out. Since then, the apartment is once again for rent. To every visitor, the landlady says the same thing. There's an old mirror in the bedroom, best not to disturb it. Neighbors sometimes hear scratching from behind the walls, as if someone wants to get out. And to you, dear listener, I offer only this advice. If you look into the mirror tonight, even for just a moment, watch closely who looks back. Because sometimes stories don't end with the final sentence. Sometimes, that's when they begin.